writer, director, producer of Joker's Wild.
I'm Joe LeBlanc. I'm Robin in Joker's Wild.
I didn't recognize you with your tongue.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, obviously, I would imagine you're a Batman enthusiast.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit? That was my guess. Cool.
A little bit of nerd. Is it
Yeah.
showing?
Yeah. So, obviously, we're living in a time with, like, great oversaturation of the superhero genre in some people's minds. So, what made you decide that this was the right time for this?
Yeah, most people's minds. So I had yet to see. So in 1988, they made the comic Death in the Family, which, for those that don't know, you were encouraged to call a 1-900 number. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. Spend 50 cents and vote as to whether or not Robin was going to die on this cliffhanger type issue. And surprisingly, by only 700 votes, everyone they wanted him to die.
You wanted him dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
So, which they were ill prepared for. They had already drawn and thought they were going to high five over the other one, and then quickly had to go, oh God, and then do the other one, and then they released the other many years later, so they could actually see what would have happened if people weren't psychopaths.
Yeah.
But in that, I saw it as 1988. I'm 10 years old. And it was pretty horrifying for a kid because the panels, I mean, they're not gruesome at that point. It's just, him swinging a crowbar and then blowing the building up, and then Batman gets there too late, and that's it. And it kind of been done to death, but 100,000 times. And, and everybody does their homage, and there are plenty of them on YouTube. And I decided I would do one, and as everyone was starting to lean in and expect this different take on that, I've got David Howard Thornton, that's Art the Clown from Terrifier. And so if you got him and his fans are watching, if I don't do something with it to this poor guy, then I think I'm kind of leaving a lot on the table.
Art the Clown has to win.
Art the Clown, yeah, and he has to grotesquely, brutally kill somebody on a micro budget.
Yeah. So I'd love to talk about the makeup for him, because that was really unique. Obviously, again, in the last 20 years, we've seen 4 Jokers. I don't know how many in film.
Exactly.
So how did you try to differentiate yourself through the makeup?
So our timeline, we shot a year ago yesterday.
Wow.
And we had
Happy
one
anniversary.
Yeah, it was kind of fortuitous.
Yeah.
One day, it took him 3 hours in makeup, so I had a 12-hour day. So I just killed this guy it took him about 20 minutes to get out of makeup, I believe.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
20 minutes to get out, yeah.
Yeah. And then we took him upstairs, tied him up, and just beat the heck out of him without everything that you saw in the beginning and all the inserts. And at one point, we're just like, we have shot this entire room to pieces.
Sure.
All the close-ups, all the inserts. There's nothing else we can do. And then we hear David from down the hall in character coming at us, and we're like, perfect. And it's, for the makeup, it's a little extreme. I mean, a lot of the heckling we got, because nobody likes everything, and when you do comics, it's a very divided group. So if there was anything that people didn't like, they thought, it was a little too comic booky, which I thought was hilarious, because that was our whole point. David, Tatiana Bluchel, the head of makeup, and she's the head of Valley Girl FX. I didn't have a lot of money. It was $4,800. It was one day. So she just kind of threw the kitchen sink at it. I put a third of my budget, which sounds like a lot until you say it's $4,800 out loud. And she made it work. We didn't have David for makeup precast to do a life cast of his face in order for her to do the makeup too. So we just kind of had to take a generic fit, and then she kind of winged it as best she could. She had 2 of her assistants, Pedro Rios and Cassie White, were there just like surgeons over the top of this poor guy. But he's done the Art the Clown dance 100,000 times, and then all the cons and everything else, so he just so used to it.
Another day at the office for him.
Another day at the office, exactly. And it was extreme, but David specifically said, like, if we're going to do this, let's do comic book accurate, long chin, high cheekbones, and I'll let him tell a story about how he saw the character. I mean, if it's okay.
Yeah, and hand it over.
Yeah.
So I didn't see David, obviously, in the costume until the scene in the movie where he lifts the bandana.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
that's the first time I see David in the full costume was actually when the bandana is
On
lifted.
camera.
And the fear that I had was real because it was like the first time I saw him in that makeup.
That's terrifying,
And,
yeah.
he's terrifying, right, when you see him like that, right in close up,
Yeah.
showing you your own eyeball, you know. So that was a really fun situation. One of the makeup artists was like, "Hey, we hear him coming up. He's laughing, he's giggling, he's singing," and they're like, "Do you want us to, hold up the blindfold so you can see him?" And I was like, "No, not a chance, not a chance. You know, I want it to be as natural as possible." And so that was actually what Aaron used for the film was my first reaction of him. So it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Tatiana and the team just killed it with that. So
Yeah, so you were only in makeup for 20 minutes, you
it
said?
was probably a little bit longer.
Okay,
but
because you had no eye, you lost
Yeah.
a tongue, you fell
Yeah.
apart, my man.
cut
Yeah.
out shirt and stuff,
Yeah.
all the good stuff. So yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah.
Tied to a chair for a good amount of time. It seemed like it was because people always say I got beat up all day, but it was the time of my life. I didn't really feel it until the next day. So
Yeah. So what was it like working with, I guess it sounded like he was just the Joker the whole time.
yeah, no, he's a professional. So like in and out of scenes, he was just like back to him. And then
Oh, wow.
when they say action, he's the Joker. He's very good at what he does. And so yeah, working with the Joker because I'm a huge Robin fan. As you know, when I was auditioning for the movie, I'm a big Jason Todd fan. I used to dress up as Robin with my twin brother. He was Batman, I was Robin. So
Oh my God.
getting to play Robin was a dream come true. Working with Aaron, and then obviously David was just icing on top of the cake. So
Yeah.
just a lot of great opportunities that day. So
That's wild. So obviously, how did you secure the Terrifier for your film?
Instagram. You miss 100% of the shots you
Oh,
don't
wow,
take.
yeah.
So, yeah. But Tatiana Blue Shell, she did the makeup for the Mean One, which is the Grinch Stole Christmas slasher remake. David played the Grinch in that as well, which he played on Broadway. He was the backup for that as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
He does it all.
Yeah, so he's Broadway trained actor, cuts people up in Terrifier, never gets to say a word. But he also does voice acting. It's funny because like three of the main characters, Mickey Mouse and Screamboat, the Grinch in the Mean One, and Art the Clown, none of his three biggest roles he gets to talk like at all, not a word. But he's a voice actor, does video games, does all kinds of other stuff, does like 1,000 impressions. It's literally, it's part of his TISM superpower, and he's tremendous at it. I mean, and when it wasn't Joker walking around like this Mark Hamill echo in your head, all of a sudden it was Mickey Mouse. So you just kind of had to turn around and just like, what's happening?
Pretty disturbing.
And then Goofy's there, and then all this is like nothing made sense. It was. But then you say action, and it's immediately right back into it. So, which was great. Off book. What can you ask for better than that? It's 11 pages in one day and 27 setups.
Wow.
So I had to steamroll the thing. So if he wanted to stop and pontificate about what's the meaning of this, why am I taking the tongue out? I'm like, oh, I'm so screwed. There's just no way.
So you just messaged him on Instagram and
Yeah, I messaged and tagged Tatiana, which was kind of like, okay, and I expressed to her a year before, like if I get a chance, I would love to say, terrific job on the makeup. She had an absolute tiny, like $250 budget to make his.
wow.
And it looks to me, if you get a chance to see the Mean One, it's silly fun. It's great. And I took my dad to a talk back of this, and my dad had no idea. Neither of us knew anything about what we were about to see. But it's campy and fun, and the low budgetness, not a word, but I mean, it actually makes it so. Like I think everyone around us that wasn't crew in the back had no idea that we were about to watch something that wasn't trying so hard to be itself. And and after a few minutes, I just started cackling at something that was so over the top and so ridiculous. And then everyone else just kind of realized, oh, that's why we're here. And with David, he sells everything so well, his mannerisms and everything. And then couple that with his impression, which is, a little bit of Cesar Romero, a lot of Mark Hamill. It's everybody he really, really cares about and looks up to, as he is a fantastic but very gracious fan of all the Jokers that come before. It's his favorite character.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so when I saw the article, an interview that someone said, oh, what do you think of the Joker? Would you like to play the Joker in something? And he was like, yes. I saw that and then tagged Tatiana. Hey, great makeup work. Tagged him and then said, I have a grip truck. That's how I keep the lights on. I have a key grip and gaffer. It's how I stay on set. And a camera package like, hey, David, we should do a makeup test. And then kind of crossed my fingers. He was like, yeah, sure. And Tatiana was great. And she tagged him again and then immediately just went to private messaging and how can I set this thing up and produce it. I wrote a script. 4 hours was my first draft and sent it to him, and it had I didn't know if he would like the gore, the killing, and everything else, but he was actually really receptive to it. He goes, oh, well, this is something new. It's not going to be just us doing another YouTube fan film. Like this could be something that people haven't seen, and then it went pretty viral. We had 400,000 views in 19 days.
Wow.
And then YouTube found us and locked down the 18 plus on it, which kind of nullifies your algorithm, makes it very difficult to find. And we're sitting at 530,000, which is we're really proud of.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats, guys.
All that he did to get David, he did the same to get me too, by the way.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
You tagged everyone. Yeah.
He was like, I gotta get this kid.
Yeah.
He sent me, I don't know what the age, like that photo that you sent, he was literally in Jason Todd garb, like kind of making a pose.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was essentially the headshot that I was given.
And you're like,
and I'm just
yeah.
like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
This is, What a shoe-in. Great. That is a great way to do it, guys. If you want a role and you know what the role is, and they're going to tell you, like, just, come committed.
That's really amazing. So what's next for you?
We actually, we wrote out, it was supposed to just kind of be a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
And for fans of the comics, it's not over for Jason Todd when it's over for Jason Todd. DC can't let IP go. So there's a mechanism they use for plot armor called the Lazarus Pit. And so we wrote Jason Todd's story as it continues from that point as kind of a revenge thing. And we're gonna try and maintain all the themes and the horror aspects that we have here. So we're crowdfunding for that. And we've got some really interesting characters. We're just going to throw the kitchen sink at it. Way more carnage and chaos and characters. We're going to bring in a lot of characters. We've brought on Lauren Alenia to play Harley Quinn.
Oh, you're going for it, okay.
Oh yeah, Harley Quinn, Batman. I'm going to have a Gordon in there. I'm just, why not?
Yeah. That's
he said he would do one more, so.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
As many as we can.
There you go.
As many as people will pay to see.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't own the rights to it, so we're just putting it up on YouTube for people to enjoy.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
We won 12 festivals, and I just got a wild hair, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I pin it on my wall and have
There you
that
go.
fancy WB/Netflix
Yeah.
logo on it. Not entirely sold on that yet.
None of us are. Well, thank you guys so much. Congrats again. Joker's Wild, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.